All right, first race of the year. First race since Labor Day last year. Sitting on the starting line in the 40B class. And there goes, I guess, the 30Bs. Anyway, not taking it too seriously, as you can tell. Letting most of the guys go here. I just wanted to put in some laps. And I realized nobody's going into the first turn, so what the heck. If you're going to give it to me, I'll take it. Last year did not go well. Raced 3 times, came home banged up 2 times. So this year is just try to rebuild a little bit, create a foundation that I can build upon going forward and get back into the mindset of racing and decide if that's something I still want to do or if I'm just going to trail ride and enjoy that. So today's goal, put in some laps, get in the competition mindset, and ride a clean race, no drama, no problems, no log jams, no crashes. So it looks like I've managed to put myself in the lead in my class, and come across a guy just up here. Looks like he got hurt in the previous start.
All right, I'll send you help.
So normally you find a track worker, a sweep rider in the first few turns. There was one at the top of that hill, and that was the last one I saw until the end of the lap, so I guess I didn't help that guy out much. But, you know, had the right intentions. Just up here, I hit something I didn't even see bug over the bars. Alright, recover from that and move on. I'm 55 years old, so the main thing to me is not winning the race. It's putting in an effort I feel happy about, that I can be proud of. Coming home and being able to do other things, play golf and ride the bicycle and hike. So, gonna take it a little easier and do that. Don't make any dumb decisions. 2 races last year I got hurt. One was pulling my bike out of a mud hole that tore a bicep tendon. And the other race I was helping one of the lady pros get up a hill. My bike I wasn't even on my bike, and I fell down the mountain and separated a shoulder. So trying to avoid doing stupid things like that. Last year my race was going so poorly that I decided to help other people and ended up getting hurt. This year I'm just going to mind my own business, put in my laps. I don't need to win. I just want to ride hard for, well, this one ended up being about 2 hours, 15 minutes or so, 2.5 hours. So that's my game plan. Put in some laps, ride hard, focus, eliminate as many mistakes as possible. Beautiful place to ride. Hills are steeper than they look, of course. With the GoPro, it flattens everything out. This thing ends up getting pretty choppy after a couple laps. First lap or 2, it's not too bad. And it's dry and dusty, which is not something we deal with a whole lot here. And I think that shows. We've already seen one guy get hurt, and there's a couple guys that bail off, and probably because they're racing, can't really see where they're going in the dust and the trees, hit something that they don't see, which I've already done. Almost went over the bars back there. But yeah, with the dust and the trees, it makes it kind of tricky to see, and I think guys here maybe aren't that used to it, maybe overcommit and end up getting a little bit hurt. Just up here there's a guy walking back. He looks like he has a broken collarbone, and he's walking back to the main pit area. See him just up here in a moment. And then just up here, just ahead of us, is the Joker Lane. This is an outdoor hare scramble race with a Joker Lane. I choose not to take it. It does not fit into my strategy, so I avoid the Joker Lane. I don't want to get hung up. I don't want to be pushing. I don't want to be pulling my bike. I don't want to be picking it up. Again, smooth, consistent, easy laps is kind of what I'm after. So fun section here, roots and trees and kind of some softer dirt. Log hops throughout here, but last year when we were here, this whole section was soaking wet and muddy. Riding over these roots was like riding on slick, wet ice. It was crazy. So I backed off my pace, got passed by everybody, and then realized I needed to be going faster, and then fell off, and it was just disastrous. So Nothing too tricky, just some winding single track. Yeah, it's pretty fun riding actually. A couple little log hops, like I said, kind of spice things up a bit. The A course, so not only was there a joker lane, but the A classes and the pro classes rode a different, longer course. I wasn't too worried about the difficulty of the course, but when you add in the racing factor, you know, all these different guys, all the different bikes, the dust, the roost, the mud, guys that you're not familiar riding around, and then add in the A course, a little bit more difficult level of terrain. That wasn't part of my strategy. I probably could have ridden the A class and the A course. I rode it last year. It wasn't the course that did me in. It's not the difficulty of the terrain. It was more mindset, and just not quite committed to it. Not sure what I was doing wrong. So this year, back it down, ride the easier course. You know, this is just gentle trail riding, flowing trails. It's kind of fun. So I'm just enjoying myself at this point, and trying to remember to breathe, trying not to let my arms pump up, trying not to take bad lines. There is no warm-up lap here, so this is the first I'm seeing of this trail since over a year ago when we raced at this area. So I'm focusing on breathing and not pumping up my arms, not making bad decisions throughout here. Just trying to flow, find some lines, enjoy it, and not worrying too much about where I sit in my class. At this point, I'm leading it, although I'm pretty sure a couple guys would have taken the joker lane and probably gotten ahead of me. But I'm not worried about that. I'm dust free, just having a good trail ride and trying to take it easy and enjoy it. So I'm starting to catch up to one of the guys towards the back of the group that started ahead of us, probably 30B, but who knows, he could have been from any class. Nice enough to let me by. I can stay out of his dust a little bit, so that's good. And that's going to go on all day long. You know, a hare scramble, as you guys know, you really have no idea where you are, who you're racing with, who you're not racing with. You're just out riding your laps. And that's really what I tried to focus on. Amazing area, really, really beautiful, really scenic. We're lucky to be able to ride here, really enjoy it. The views are crazy. Although, you know, when you're racing, you're not taking the time to look at the views, but you know, if you look in the distance, you can see mountains and meadows. It's just an unbelievable place to get to ride a dirt bike, let alone race dirt bikes. A little confused on the course marking here, so again, make the conservative decision, follow this line, and then realize, oh, I should have taken the line to the right, would have saved myself a few seconds, but not too worried about that. Just want to ride conservatively. So this is the first lap, of course, and like I said earlier, still just trying to figure out where the course goes. A course this long, you're never going to memorize all of it, but at least you get a feel for it. On the first lap, you really have no feel. You're just trail riding and trying to keep a solid pace. You have no idea where you're going, left, right. You're trying to watch the ribbons. You're trying to watch the marks in the dirt made by other tires, and just trying to react and make good decisions. So there's an A-B split here. The A's go right, the B's go left. My strategy, again, ride easier race course. Focus on getting around cleanly with no drama, no stupidity. And that's why I wrote the B class. A guys get a more fun race course. It turned right there, went down to a river, and it crossed that river, creek. Crossed the creek 5 or 6 times. And then there's a climb or two back out of the river valley, back up into this meadowy area. So their loop is longer and it's trickier. It's not crazy hard, but it is trickier and it's definitely longer. So that was the first A-B split, and then they merge back in with us to the main B loop up here a ways. So here's the A-B merge where the A guys come back and join the main track, and now we're all together on the same race course again for a little while, and then they split off and add another little loop. Just up here there's a right turn that goes up a hill. This thing will bite you. It's a lot steeper than it looks on camera. Really got to pin it to get up it, and it gets choppier as the day goes on, and got to the point where some of the guys weren't making it up that hill. I said earlier, not too worried about winning. So I'm happy to let anybody buy. And again, you don't even know who you're racing with most of the time at these things. Some organizations have a real tight grip on number plate coding and all that. You know, B class is yellow and A class is white. Don't really have that happening here. One of the organizations does that, the other one doesn't. This race was a composite of both groups, so anything went pretty much at this event. So that guy could have been in my class, or he might have been an A class rider, I have no idea. So I just let him go. He was obviously going faster than me, so go ahead, show me the way. This thing here kind of sneaks up on you. You're going at a pretty good pace, and then all of a sudden you got to deal with this 2-log hop, and kind of screwed me up until I realized there was a line around it off to the left, which that other guy took. I thought it'd be faster to go over. Tried it a couple times, didn't really work out for me, so ended up changing my line. But you know, what we're here to do, learn and adapt and figure out the best way to race, not just ride. Another A-B split. A guys go right and go up into the hills, and there's some pretty good climbs up there. You get way up on the on an edge. You can see way down into the valley. It's really cool, but not part of my strategy today. The B loop is a little bit boring, I'll give you that. Although it does catch me by surprise right up here somewhere. I missed something. And it's almost bad. Oh, right there.
Whoops. Nice save, nice save. Good job, good job.
Got a little bit lucky, slammed through a tree, still managed to save it. So I'm trying to do some positive self-talk. Nice save, nice save. You know, we're 20 minutes into the race. There's a little bit of arm pump going on. I haven't raced in a year, so let the faster guys go through and get back to my job, which is just putting in laps. Spent pretty much the entire race up to this point going uphill, pretty gradual uphills, a couple steep pitches here and there, and then we do all of the descending pretty much all at once. This is a long, fairly steep downhill. I wouldn't say it's crazy steep, it's not frightening, but you can carry pretty good pace and just cruise on down the hill. The hardest part is you can't see a lot because of the trees growing right on the edge of the trail. But pretty good downhill and goes for quite a ways. Coming back on level ground here, and this is where we merge again with the A loop, somewhere just up here. This is a little bit sketchy because they are flying when we merge with them here. And we're kind of coming in on an angle. You can see a guy up ahead coming from the A loop. Quick shoulder check before I merge into the freeway. In this section I was 6th gear, not tapped, but moving along in 6th gear. It's pretty quick through here. Don't go left. So starting to get pretty close to closing out the first lap. Not crazy challenging terrain, just fun trail riding, and trying to keep it at a race pace. Ended up doing 5 laps. Took about 2 hours and 20 minutes, something like that. About 27 minutes a lap, I think. Enjoyed it. Accomplished what I set out to accomplish, which was, build that foundation, learn some racecraft, use my brain, don't do stupid stuff, don't fall off, no log jams, don't get hurt helping people. Go through the timing and scoring kiosk here, 3rd in class, and like I said, don't know if this guy's an A rider or a 30 rider or whatever, but yeah, this worked out exactly the way I wanted it to. Don't know how I ended up overall, but a good foundation to build on. So, starting lap 2. This was the first hill after the first turn. Climbed to the top of this guy. Actually, we came up right there. And you hit the peak, you go back down. B class had the option of going over the log and over the rocks or going around it. Logs are kind of fun, I enjoy that. Rocks, you know, take them or leave them. Trying to be smart and not get hung up and do stupid stuff, so I went around those rocks. This whole section is kind of weird and sketchy. Guys coming up the hill, guys going down the hill. But head back out on a lap number 2, and I'm about 28 minutes into this thing.
Did you get this guy that's hurt over here?
So finally check up on the guy that was hurt over here. I promised him I would. It took me 28 minutes, but yeah. 1 lap in the books, starting on lap number 2. Hope you enjoyed it.